Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to my series where I'm going through the different publishers in the board game industry and giving you my top 10 favorite games. Today we're taking a look at Matagot. Now Matagot is an interesting company nowadays because the Matagot, a French company, has they distribute a lot of different games in Europe, but I'm looking at games that are basically ones that originated with them. They also have a sister company, Colossal Games, so sometimes there's like a little bit of crossover, but I'm going to do Colossal as a separate list in the future. For right now, we're just going to take a look at Matagot. Matagot is thematic, for sure. Their games are just straight brimming with theme. Not always, though. They have some very strong abstract games. Not many made the list here, but usually their games are all about a mixture of Euro-style mechanisms with just straight Amerithrashy theme thrown in them. As you will see, here are my 10 favorite. Number 10 is Treasure Island. Now this one's all about theme. It's kind of a deduction game where one person is playing Long John Silver, who has hid their treasure somewhere on the island, and the other players are trying to find that treasure, but you're using different tools like a compass, and you're drawing lines and things all over this map trying to kind of focus down where this treasure is hidden. It is not as precise as some logic games, but it's so strongly thematic that I know a lot of people will like it. Also, great artwork from Vincent Dutrait. Number 9 is Dungeon Academy. Dungeon Academy is one of my favorite roll and write games, where you roll some dice and write things. In this one in particular, the dice that you roll, you roll these dice and they form this dungeon. There's like a grid of dice in the middle. And then you are on your board writing how you're going to run through this dungeon, fighting the different enemies, picking up potions. It's just an interesting game, and it feels very different than most of the other roll and write games that are out there. Dungeon Academy. Number 8 is Paris New Eden. This one came out to very low buzz. This is a dystopian future, although it is a little bit more, or post-apocalyptic future, sorry, but it's a little brighter than most as you're rebuilding Paris after an apocalypse. But it's using dice drafting, and you're also trying to draft different types of people. This is one of the most least thematic games on this list, but it's bright, vibrant, easy to play. I like this one a lot, Paris New Eden. Number 7 is Giants. Now, I want to be really clear. It's the original Giants. They did remake it with a different name, and I did not like the remake at all. But the original Giants was the game that put Matagot on the map for me, because it was a big Euro-style game where you're taking these big statues on Easter Island and building them, and you have to roll them from logs across the island. Really cool mechanisms. It had a strong theme. Everyone's player pieces look different. Nowadays, that's not so phenomenal, but at the time when this game came out, it really caught my eye. That's Giants. Number 6 is Raptor. This 2-player game where one person is a bunch of scientists trying to capture some raptors, and the other person is playing a mommy raptor, protecting her babies. It's cool. It's very asymmetrical. The idea of playing 2 cards, it's kind of like an advanced war variant, then with a board game thrown on top of that. I was pretty impressed with this. It's fun. The theme comes out, and it's just a nice, quick 2-player game that feels very meaty. That is, well, no pun intended, Raptor. Number 5 is Dice Town. Dice Town, I mean, sometimes Matagot makes games that are just sheer fun. There's another one coming up soon, but this is one of those where you're rolling dice in a cup. You slam those dice on the table, you get to keep some of the dice if you want to, and you're making poker hands with them. You then use these poker hands to win different spots on the board. There is very strong interaction. It's fun to roll the dice and try to get as good of a poker hand as you possibly can. Every time I play this with people, they just have a lot of fun. It comes with several fun expansions too. Definitely worth checking out, Dice Town. Number 4 is the cutest game, and that's Takinoko. Takinoko, the panda chewing bamboo game with wooden pieces and a little panda running around and a gardener chasing him. So you're using the panda to collect bamboo, and you're using the gardener to put out these different tiles to form them. This is a very strong family game, very easy to play, but it has almost a Zen feel to it. It's very entertaining. They made a large version of this one. They've actually made a large version of a couple games, also River Dragons, which also has cool wooden pieces. But the Takinoko one is just, I never thought Takinoko needed a huge deluxe version, but the small version is fine, a lot of fun. Number 3 is Cyclades. Now I want to be really clear, I like Cyclades as the base game. It might have made maybe 9 or 10 on this list, but when you add the Giants, or the Titans expansion, that is what drives it up here to number 3. Cyclades has a really cool auction mechanism where you're taking different gods and using these gods to use different abilities to help grow your Greek civilization, using different monsters to do that. And then when you play with the Titans expansion, having these giant Titans marching around the board, fighting each other, it's fantastic. Number 2, Captain Sonar. This is the other one I alluded to earlier that's just pure fun. We just got back from one of our conventions, and I saw this game being played over and over again. 4 versus 4. There are very few games that do it. It's one of the best convention games out there. Real-time battleship with submarines. And you're moving your submarine out, telling your opponent how you're moving, north, south. They just didn't know where you started, and they're trying to figure that out. It is superb. It's very entertaining. If you've never been involved in it, it's also fun to watch, too. A lot of fun, Captain Sonar. My number 1 game, very easy, one of my favorite games of all time, and that's Kemet. Kemet, the follow-up to Cyclades, where you're in Egypt and it's one of those troops on a map where you're running around attacking each other. But I like it because A, it very much encourages attacking. B, there's a huge technology tree with all kinds of cool things you can get. C, some of those things you can get are cool giant mythological monsters that you walk around and fight each other with. D, it has a great combat system. And E, it ends at a reasonable time. The newest version is called Kemet Blood and Sand. I really like that version. It's a nice upgrade, although it's, the original game was still one of my favorites. So those are my top 10 games from Matagot. Yes, there are some games that didn't make my particular list, like Inish and others, but maybe they made yours. Let me know your favorite game in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been my top 10 Matagot games. See you next time.